Hello, everyone on Patreon. This is the monthly read for July 2025 with moi, Sonia Estelle. Oh, sorry, that was my mic. I'm sure that was noisy. With moi, Sonia Estelle, the word witch. And if you are seeing this on YouTube, you are seeing it probably halfway through the month or the month after, because I release it on Patreon first to my patrons. And you're welcome to go over there and join at even the $1 tier, because you get to see these videos early. And if you join at the $10 tier, you get to ask a question a month, and I deliver it to you in the manner that you prefer. So I am here with the monthly read for July. We are picking the decks, or the decks are picking us. I always let the deck choose. Okay, there's just one deck. Any other decks? Okay, just one deck this month, y'all, and that is the deck of character by Hannah. By Peacetime. Okay, so this new deck has different, but by Hannah. So we are going to shuffle so you can see how the sausage is made. What is the message that we need to most embrace for July? Okay, that's one. What is the message that we most need to embrace for July? Oh, what is the I said that because this deck is broken into characters, tools, and places. And what initially flipped out was a tool, a character, and a place. I call that the crown, right? That's when existence is like this. Okay. Let me make sure no cards are flipped over. Let's see here. Our crown is a tool, a character, then a place. And underneath that we have place, tool. Just one character. Okay. So, is this speak, listen, and key cards? Okay. So this is my new traditional deck spread. My God, English has been a challenge today. This is the traditional spread, which is the speak column like my tattoo, the listen column like my tattoo, and then the key cards. There's both a skeleton key and a keystone. The skeleton key is the master key. It unlocks all the doors. And the keystone is the master stone that holds up the whole building. And we don't know if that's good or bad until we know what the cards are, right? Or we don't know if that's helpful or unhelpful, depending on what the cards are. I won't say there's good or bad here. Now, I want to read to you the official spiel for the spread placements. And so we are going into my email where I have that written, because I usually just intuitively do this and don't explain it, but I think sometimes it's helpful to explain it. Oop. I want to make sure that my mic is okay. Okay. So the speak side, where we have two tools going down as a column, is what existence is saying to us or through us, what we may need to say or do to speak up for ourselves or speak on the situation. And we have two tools from the deck of character by Peacetime and Hannah. Our first tool is stereo amplification, speaking on it, declaring, making noise, making sound, stating your position, amplifying, pushing it back, letting people know what you think, why you think it, doing your research, making sure that you have a sound that can last the test of time, because it's built on as much truth as you can comprehend, research, fathom, find. Okay? Then our second tool is the Bulldozer, right? It's time to till the soil, I believe. Not that I have any farming experience. In fact, I'm taking care of chickens right now, and I find it quite stressful. Bulldozer, tilling the soil, cleaning the soil, uprooting what is no longer fruitful, changing the crop, right? Regenerating the soil so that the next crop can be healthy. All these analogies, I'll look up Hannah's descriptions as well, because they are there on the website. Even though this deck is no longer in print, I'm very grateful to have it. But also what I see from Bulldozer is like, get over what isn't for you, right? Like, if it's not for you, good that you know, and time to move as far away from what isn't for you as possible. That means living and embodying as an example of what you do prefer, and then addressing what you don't prefer, aka what isn't for you when you come across it. Naturally, of course, anytime that it happens and any opportunity that presents itself or seems relevant for you, because you are conducting yourself and you are co-signing your beliefs and your ideas of what you think is necessary or not, okay? But then there's also this quality of like bulldozing over, right? So there's also if you don't do the groundwork, the root work, if you don't pull up what's underneath the surface of the soil, then bulldozing over something is thanks, Chris. Then what is underneath is not gone, right? So you can't prevent what you don't uproot from sticking out. And the bulldozer quality here is like, if you're bulldozing over things that you haven't cleared, it's going to show, and it's going to come up, and it's going to show, it's going to bear new shoots. And until you get to the root of the issue for yourself, you should prepare yourself to come against that challenge over and over again, because this is the meower. Because okay, because you haven't actually figured out what the source is. So if you don't know what the source is, how do you expect to truly clear something? And if you want to pretend like there is no source so you don't have to clear, that is best done honestly. Like, just say that, you know? But if you don't actually believe there's more to clear, but the challenge still presents itself, or you're still frustrated about something, then that's not keeping it a buck with yourself. If existence is giving you an experience to have again and again, and you're not yet neutral about it enough to move past it after it's taken place, whether you preferred it or not, then you are an attachment, and that attachment is what we need to understand. So what I see on the speak side, aka what existence is saying to you or through you, what you need to say or do to speak up for yourself or speak on the situation, is one, amplify what you do prefer, get rid of what you don't prefer, right? And that means that there needs to be something to carry the deluge of energy that is so rapidly building. June was a lot, and the summer won't be calming down, and then the times will not be calming down. So there's a quality here of like being very precise as you can be, as actual as you can be, about choosing what there is for you to do, and not being in a position where you are only doing things you don't prefer to do, because that isn't you. Only doing what you don't prefer to do is not your identity. That can't be possible. Existence doesn't do anything redundant, and making something that actually prefers itself is how you keep it sustainable and not self-punishing or self-slowing or self-stopping, right? So why would existence make why are all the cats meowing right now? The spirits are in the room. Hi, Zora. Zora is 19 years old. This is a grand dam, okay? She probably sees all the old ass ghosts in this motherfucker. So, you got to give yourself the opportunity to take up the space that is yours. Existence intended for you. That's why you're here. And the idea that you shouldn't take up space, or that you don't get to be what you actually prefer, even if you have to deal with things that you don't prefer, is co-signing an idea that existence made you a redundancy. And existence don't do redundancies. How about that? Okay, so now our listen column. Cards don't want to change. The listen side is what you may not be receiving or understanding about yourself or your experiences, what you may need to hear or be heard, but whatever needs to be attended to, whether that's being listened to or acknowledged or whatever. We have a character card and we have a place card. Nothing wants to change. Our character card, the Majestic Whale, okay? So we are learning to not just weather our emotions, but carry our emotions. There's something for each of us that is knocking, okay? And Majestic Whale is sort of like a major arcana, in my opinion, of the deck of character. It's not set up like that, but meaning it's one of those cards that it's like guides and assistance and existence conspiring to help you and things happening if you just are willing to take an action. It's one of those cards. So it's not dragging you, let's say, okay? But also Majestic Whale, so this is something I've been repeating to a lot of clients recently, which is like a master answers existence's knock, destiny's knock on the first knock, right? An apprentice waits 3 knocks. A novice waits 25 knocks. Now, a master can answer on the first knock because a master has been embodying and practicing and doing for so long that a master knows how to hear the multiple frequencies, octaves, and dimensions in a single moment. And the master knows exactly who is knocking, what is knocking, and when it's knocking, right? 1 knock is enough because the master hears everything within it that it needs to know, okay? The apprentice waits 3 knocks because an apprentice's job is to be present, uneager, right? Humble. So an apprentice is not leaping at things. They are moving at the pace of presence, right? And so they wait 3 knocks to be sure, but not so long that they miss the guest, okay? Now, a novice waits 25 knocks because a novice wants to not only be sure, a novice wants nothing but guidance. The novice does not wish to think for themselves because the novice does not trust themselves. And so they need that many knocks to feel confident. But if a novice had their way, existence would have to knock at all times for the novice to feel confident. So the job is to whittle it down from 25 knocks to 3 to 1, okay? And that's not something to rush towards again, because again, the apprentice is not eager, is not in a rush. Okay. The novice is definitely not in a rush. The novice is sort of like dragging themselves. But the point is, there is momentum here. There is opportunity. There is fortune. There is possibility. There is potential. And you got to get the guest before the guest leaves the door, right? So the guest is existence. The guest is you interacting with existence in a way that you prefer, being the version of yourself that you most prefer to be, and finding ways within that version of yourself to navigate even what you don't prefer, but doing both simultaneously as often as they present themselves. And when your time is your own, absolutely putting yourself towards what you prefer to do, where and as and in any way possible that is provided for you by existence, made possible by existence for you, and is affirmed by existence through positive synchronicity, alignment, expansion, collaboration, magnification, right? If existence is allowing it, you aren't going to feel overwhelmingly positive or negative about the thing, but there will be room to learn and experiment and figure out whether you can feel overwhelmingly positive or negative about the thing. And then if existence is denying you that avenue, it will give you nothing but repulsion, rejection, decay, disintegration, stagnation, right? So let it be obvious. Our second listen card, again, what we may not be receiving or understanding about ourselves or our experiences, what we may need to hear or be heard, but whatever needs to be attended to. It's a place. It doesn't want to change. Existence said, not me giving you this bomb-ass motherfucking planet to exist upon, not me making it so that there is an earth that is so generous as to include you upon it, and you fucking up my house. You fucking up Earth's house, okay? Fucking up Earth stuff. We are Earth stuff. Humanity is Earth stuff, and we are fucking each other up. What is that about? The things in the house don't fight. This isn't Toy Story, okay? And also, you're not going anywhere. And if you are going anywhere, it's on existence's time. And any prematurely, it would be because you misinterpreted your purpose here, right? Death doesn't need your help. Death doesn't need my help. Death does not need our help. Death is an OG motherfucker. Death is going to take motherfuckers when death wants to and not before, okay? And people do not need to rush. Like, this is a long list that death needs to check out, okay? And you need to give death time to check you off the list. You do not need to be rushing towards death. Death said you have an appointment. Don't be trying to get a reservation early. All y'all are stressing me out. This why shit is fucked up. So, to that end, let me read from the Deck of Character website. In the Deck of Character's own words, before I turn over the last two cards, because we've finished the columns, right? We've heard what is speaking. We've heard what needs to be listened to. So our tools, should we choose to accept them, were stereo and bulldozer. Stereo in this deck says, the stereo card is usually a sign to pump up the volume of your life. Be you loud and clear, blast your you-ness out in the world, tune into your own frequency, because life is about being you and only you. It's the only person you can be. Remember to be with the rhythm of your life, right? To move at the rate of your transformation, to allow yourself to grow and become what you are already witnessing, right? And share your vision with others. Share yourself, share your example, embody and be in the world, right? Sometimes stereo is also a call to connect with the messages and guidance of the universe knocking. If this is the case for you, the advice is to listen at this time. Are you hearing what angels, guides, spirit, or the physics of the universe are suggesting? You might even be receiving repeated messages. It is important to be open to your intuitive antenna. It is also helpful to note that the stereo card is a geometric, architectural, man-made object, person-made object. Pay attention to how many things are built and arranged in front of you. Do you need to intervene in a situation with a sense of magic and creativity? Okay. What can you do? What can you embody? What can you speak for? What can you speak for, right? Then we have Bulldozer. Boop. Bulldozer is a power card. It first serves as a reminder that you or someone you know are powerful. We'll talk about power in a minute. Capable of creating positive change in life. When this card is pulled, prepare for a level up. It is likely time to move forward. How do you want to work towards your truest dreams? Remember, the greatest blessings come from inner strength and integrity. So long as you never give up, miracles can move mountains. Your transformation is possible. Sitting in front of a mess or just in need of assistance, may Bulldozer be a reminder that help is always around. You do not need to manage things alone. Bulldozer can forecast major help from the universe to clear anything that is blocking you and your path. Assistance can come in the form of people, tools, and epiphanies. Sometimes guidance and aid can make the task at hand far easier. Yeah, why do it alone? I mean, tilling a field by yourself? Come on now. The bulldozer wasn't even designed alone, okay? Sometimes it can't even be operated alone. But the thing about power, right? Power's etymology means power, so it means itself, right? It is itself. Or power's etymology means Lord, and Lord is the one who brings home the bread. It's not a gendered term, although obviously we have taken it as such. So the thing about power is that its power comes from being itself. Power's power comes from being its power, being itself, right? So your power comes from being yourself. And if you won't embrace that power, then you will not receive the assistance that is relevant for you to understand that about yourself, right? So until you take action, existence is not able to support you and help you reflect upon your instincts or your intuition. So it's important to do that. Last but not least, we have our skeleton key, the graveyard. Let things rest, let things lie, let go of things that are no longer relevant. Don't repeat what the dead have already done. Don't create redundancies that don't need to be repeated. Honor your ancestors by learning from them. Honor the land by caring for it. Okay. And then our keystone, the thing holding it all together, is the structure of the house under construction, right? The keystone, the thing holding it all together, is the fact that we are now in a position where we need to figure out, like, what are we trying to hold together, right? Like, what is the goal here? Is the goal survival? Because that's been humanity's goal for a really long time and we've achieved that. Or is the goal generations and standing the test of time and something that can house and hold the multitudes, right? The keystone is the thing that you are doing or participating in that is holding together what you are experiencing, whether that experience is positive, neutral, or negative, right? Like, if the house doesn't actually provide shelter, what is it for? And then the skeleton key is the thing, skill, or action you need to utilize to unlock all the doors to the rooms you want to enter into, or it's a thing that you're doing that's keeping those doors open or closed. Why won't you learn from the past? Why won't you even learn from past versions of yourself who weren't happy until you allowed them to become who they were becoming? When will you honor the present by acknowledging what has already been there, what has already happened, how you arrived, where you have arrived? And when will you trust that you do not have to repeat the past to learn from it? That is the question of July. May this reading serve you. Thank you so much for being here. And let me know what you think in the comments. Bye.